Hey everybody, I am assuming you are a reader. So thanks for visiting my page. This is my very first video and congratulations, you're the winner. You get to be my friend and listen to all of my book rants. I am Rhonda Morrison, that's my name, and I am Mrs. Morrison to about 400 students here in Michigan at the school that I am a librarian at. I have third, fourth, and fifth graders, and I'm very passionate about books. I've always loved books. I love picture books. I love chapter books. I love nonfiction, and my goal is to get kids to like books too, readers or leaders. I want to find the perfect book for them to read. I love it when they come and ask me for recommendations. So I'm hoping I'm making a love connection with them. So my passion is books. I love books. My goal is to get kids reading, readers or leaders. So what I thought I would do and start doing is sharing some of the books that I've read this summer. So far, I'm not gonna go in the order that I read them, but because some of them are library books and I really do need to get them back. One of them is not a library book, but I do need to loan it out to somebody. So that's what I thought I would do. I'm gonna start with the library books, and in this video, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna end with the favorites, the ones that I've liked so far. So without further ado, here we go. The first one that I have is Lawn Boy to share with you. This one was recommended to me by a teacher friend who saw that I was reading all kinds of middle grade books this summer so far. So it's funny because it's very well, let me tell you about it. Okay, it's called Lawn Boy. It's by Gary Paulsen. The copyright date is 2007. It has 88 pages. The main character is 12-year-old Arnold. He was given a lawnmower by his grandmother that used to belong to his grandfather. So you can see he's Lawn Boy. You can see by the illustrations on the front that he starts a lawn business. So there are no pictures inside the book, but he starts mowing lawns and he meets a stockbroker that helps him do some investing. So he learns a lot about capitalism, supply and demand, diversifying labor, distributing the wealth. He learns a little bit about investment. He invests in a prize fighter, Joe Pow, who honestly kind of steals the show, in my opinion. I love Joe Pow. So there's a lot of numbers in this book. And so the teacher that recommended it to me, when I talked to her after I read it, I didn't realize that she was a math teacher. She doesn't work in my school, but she's a math teacher, so that made sense. The genre for this book is realistic fiction, humor, and economics. So that Lawn Boy, not my favorite. I think I gave it 2 or 3 stars. I think I felt bad, so I gave it 3 stars. But so that was one of the ones that I read. So this next one, The Skull by John Clausen. Weird. I liked it, but it was weird. This is copyright is 2023. It's 103 pages. The main character, Otilla, runs away. In the description on Goodreads, it says that she was escaping some danger, but I don't remember reading that she was escaping danger. So I don't remember what that was, but she was running away and she ran into a dark forest and she comes to a house that she is intrigued by, like she can't stay away from it, and she meets Skull. So Skull is really nice to her actually and invites her in, and he shows her around, he gives her a little tour, and she ends up helping him because he's afraid of something that comes every single night. The one thing I love about this book is the pictures are really good. I love them. And I believe he is the illustrator as well as the writer. But yeah, they're so I liked it. It was cute. It was odd. I love the illustrations. The genre for this book is picture book, so I would imagine that it is it's an easy reader. If you can definitely see the it's bigger text. So it's a picture book. Fantasy horror was one of the genres that they had listed. I don't see that. I mean, maybe because it has a skull and it seems like a haunted house, doesn't seem like that to children. They also said it was a graphic novel. I don't feel like it was a graphic novel. It's not really in bubbles or boxes. Folklore, I see that. And Halloween, probably just because it has a skull and a headless skeleton in there. So it was cute. I liked it. I saw it. It was recommended through one of the pages in videos that I follow. So I thought I'd give it a try. So the next book is Wish Tree. This is by Catherine Applegate. This book, the main character is Red, also known as Wish Tree. And also there's a crow named Bongo in here who also steals the show. Yeah, she's kind of silly. In this book, the copyright date is 2017. It has 211 pages. Wish Tree, or Red, her branches hold lots of animal families. There's some porcupines, there's some squirrels. But on May 1st, people come from all over town with their dreams, their desires, or their longings, and they write them on scraps of fabric, or there's also a sock, and they just tie them to the branches of the tree. There's a new family that moves into the house of the yard that Red lives in, and the family is not so welcomed to the neighborhood. The neighbor has another child who just struggles with loneliness and stuff. So Red goes on a mission to try to make like a friendship connection. It's really cute the way she connives and with Bongo's help. But Red is also facing some danger too. The owner of the houses that these two families live in. So Red is facing some problems of her own. She's many rings old, and her owner is thinking of making some changes to the yard. So she knows her time may be coming to an end, so she's got to hurry up and make this friendship connection. So I love the illustrations in this book. Let me see if I can find a good one. There's also some little skunks, and the friendships that these animals have together are adorable. Oh, I can't find a good one. Okay, not as cute as I thought it would be, but you can kind of see. That's an ugly little possum. Here's some cute little raccoons. Yeah, so that one was cute. So the genres that Goodreads has for this one is fantasy, friendship, animals, and magical realism. I can see that. Because essentially, trees don't talk to humans, but in this book, Red may or may not have broke the rules on that. So there's a little bit of magical realism in there. And Goodreads didn't say this, and I hesitantly say that it does touch a little bit on racism as well. So it kind of does it in a gentle way. So there's that one. Okay, my next one is Wish by Barbara O'Connor. This one was adorable. I love the cover of this one. I love how I just love the purple and the pink and just how it fades, like the skyline. It's really pretty. I like that one. Okay. This one is, the copyright is 2016. It has 227 pages. Our main character is Charlie Reese. She is sent to live with her aunt and uncle. She just comes from a rough family. Her sister gets to go live with her friend. So her sister gets to go live with her sister's friend. But she has to go to the mountains to live with her aunt and uncle that she barely knows. And she's not very happy about it. She really struggles connecting with them at first. There is a kid next door that she finally does meet, and they go on an adventure. He does have some physical handicaps that that's the first thing that she notices about Howard, is his name. But they have a quirky little friendship. She has a superstition that she does every day, is she makes a wish. And there's different ways that she makes a wish. So if she sees something I should have looked up some of the things, because I read this one a few weeks ago, but she will see like a flower, and somebody told her if she makes a wish with her eyes closed, that when she sees this flower, that her wish will come true. She wishes, so every single day she makes the same wish. And it doesn't tell what the wish is until the end of the book, which I won't tell you. But so there's a stray dog that is running around the mountains, and her and Howard have this goal that they're going to catch this dog. And of course they do. And she names him Wishbone, and they become friends. And he really helps her heal and helps her connect with her own things that she's struggling with, abandonment, her parents, her mom is struggling, having her own struggles, and she's really having a hard time letting her aunt and uncle connect with her. One of the things I like about Charlie is she speaks her mind, and a lot of times she puts her foot in her mouth, and then she has to apologize, which she has a hard time doing. So sometimes she does, and sometimes she doesn't. So towards the end of the book, this is what she realizes, that the thing that she thought she wanted the most wasn't the thing that she really needs. So there's that. You'll have to read that to find out what that is. So here's the genre: realistic fiction, animals, dogs, family, and friendship. I feel like a lot of the books that I read this summer, there were children who were going through rough family matters, and I think that that's a lot. Our kids do go through that a lot. So books are always a good way for anybody to, one, escape reality, but also maybe learn something about your reality too that can help you. So I think that's a really cool, that little piece of tidbit was free. There you go. Okay, next one is by Lisa Phipps, and she came to our school this year and talked to the kids, and the kids loved her. She was fantastic. She was phenomenal, like just a great speaker. She's a great writer. The book that all of the students read was And Then Boom. They did this with their principal. They did a little book club, and they could not get enough of her. So we will be getting this book in our library this year, and her other books as well. And Then Boom. Copyright 2024. Has 244 pages. Our main character is Joe. Joe is also being raised by his grandmother. His parents have their own issues. So he has to be raised by his grandmother. And it just seems like every time something is going right, and then boom, something happens, and their grandma and Joe are struggling. They get caught up on their bills, and then boom, something happens, and then they're behind again. Joe finds himself on his own, and he is trying to figure out a way to support himself, but he can't because he's a kid. He finds that he comes home from school one day and the electricity has been shut off in their trailer. His friends try to support him. They bring him food. He does have a great landlord who does not know that he is living on his own at this point. He's starting to realize some things, but he does have a friend in Joe. So he's learning to trust his support in his friends and his some of the adults in his life. He does keep it a secret for a long time that he's on his own, but in the meantime, he finds a puppy, and she has he finds a dog who has puppies, and he takes them in, and those are his family, so to speak. Mom comes back at one point, but then she takes off again. She gets the itch, and she can't stay around. And his two friends, they kind of know what's going on, and they bring him food and all of that. I really like this one. It was written in verse, so it's kind of poetic. It's not rhyming or anything, but kids love books written in verse. So the genre is realistic fiction, poetry, or novel in verse, family, poverty, so it does touch on that. They are homeless for a little while, and friendship. We all need friends. So that is, and then Boom by Lisa Phipps. That was a good one. I like that one. Hopefully I can find some time to read her other ones. Okay, my last, well, I have 3 more books, but the last 2 library books have been my favorite. One of them I just read, and I don't know what one I want to do first. Okay, I'll save the one that I just finished, I'll save for last. But this one I read a couple of weeks ago was Hatchet. It's kind of an older book, and one of our boys really liked the series. It was fun to help him read through the series with me supporting him and his teacher supporting him. But Hatchet by Gary Paulsen. Our main character is Brian Robeson. He's 13. Oh, first of all, the copyright date is 1987. So I love that kids are still loving this. It's so adventurous. It has 181 pages. Brian is upset, to say the least. He is in the middle of his parents' divorce. He's going to stay with his dad, so he has to fly there. He's upset with his mom because he knows he has a secret about their divorce, and it really bothers him, and he's upset with his mom, and he's dealing with those feelings, and he has to get in this plane and go see his dad. In the plane, he gets to fly the plane a little bit with the pilot, and so he kind of connects with him there. But the pilot has a heart attack while he's driving or flying this plane. So Brian finds that he has to try to land this plane. Essentially, he ends up crashing it, and he has to get out of the plane. All he has on him is the clothes on his body and the hatchet that his mother gave him, hence Hatchet. He has to find a way to survive. Remember, he's 13, so he has to find a way to get food and water. He's in the woods for 54 days. He meets a bear, he meets a porcupine, he meets adversity, but he figures out a way to conquer it, and he learns about himself in the process, which I think is really cool. I can't wait to read the rest of these books at some point. I will, but I think there's a series of 4. He has to build himself shelter. He has to try to figure out a way to start a fire, which it takes him a really long time to start the fire, but once he does, like, things start looking up for him. So the genre in this that Goodreads has for this is adventure, survival, and realistic fiction. And I almost want to say this was based on a true story. I'm not sure. I just finished this one and I liked it a lot. This was a Battle of the Books book. I can't remember if it was just this past year or the year before, but it's by Jennifer L. Holm and it's Lion of Mars. I actually loved this book. I did not think I would. I really struggled with the first couple of chapters because it just didn't seem like it was going to be my type of book, which I always tell my Battle of the Book students that you're going to read books that you may not have picked out for yourself. So I can't wait to tell them that that happened to me. But so this one is by Jennifer L. Holmes, Lion of Mars. She has another one that's coming out that I can't wait to read too. It's called Outside, and it's also it's like a dystopian. That one I have heard so much about. Copyright dates 2021, 251 pages. Our main character's name is Bell. He's the youngest of the children who live in the American settlement. There's life on Mars. The adults in the American settlement get sick. The children do not. In one of the deliveries, there was some mice that were carrying like a disease that the adults caught, and they were getting sick. And one of the things that they were not allowed to do was take the rover over to the other country's settlements. There was lots of things were happening on Earth, and these kids also were raised on Mars. They don't remember being on Earth at all. And it gets in how they get to Mars. Like, it's really, like, I really liked this book. I can't articulate enough how much, like, I was surprised how much I liked this one. But anyway, so they have to go over to the French settlement that their whole life thought that it was dangerous, and they were dangerous. They were a dangerous settlement. Well, they go over there and they welcomed them. They were friends. Their adults went and nurtured the American adults back to health. And but while the children stayed there, I think there's about 5 of them, 5 or 7 American children. They made friends. They got to see a lot of cultural things. They got to play games that they didn't know they had. They just had a great experience. They learned a lot from being. So then they had to go back home and convince the adults that they were not. They're not dangerous. That they're friends. What did I write here? Kids find out there's so much more out there, and the adults have been lying to them about the dangers out there. But why? Why were they lying about them? So, the genre is science fiction, space, adventure, fantasy, and friendship. So that's cute. All right, I have one more, and then we'll close out this video. This is the one that I want to tag on to this because I need to loan it to a friend of mine. So I got this book actually at a used bookstore for $5.50. It's called Louisiana's Way Home by Kate McKillop. I just love this book. It was so adorable. Louisiana's Way Home. Copyright 2018, has 227 pages. Our main character is Louisiana Elefante. She, again, was raised by her Granny. And Granny tells her that her parents are dead. They were acrobats, and they traveled all over the place. At 3 a.m. in the morning, the day of reckoning had arrived. And they had to flee. They have Granny. Granny was a little out there. She told Louisiana that they had a curse on their head. She was raised knowing that they had a curse on their head, and it would always happen. Granny would wake up in the middle of the night and they would take off, and then they would come home right away. But this time they didn't come home, and they were in Florida. They crossed the Georgia border, and Louisiana wanted to go home, but Granny falls ill. She gets a terrible toothache. Louisiana has to drive the car and find a dentist. The dentist ends up having to pull out all of Granny's teeth. So Louisiana has to find a motel to stay in, and so she does. So, and there's a lot of little quirky things that happen for her in order for them to be able to stay. But Granny has to face this on her own, apparently, because she leaves Louisiana at the motel. But she does meet a friend, and he helps her. He's going to help her get home. She wants to get home to meet her friends, but in turn, she makes friends that will change her life for the better. So it was really cute. The genres are realistic fiction, family, friendship, and historical fiction, it said on Goodreads. But I think it's historical fiction because I think in here, I think this takes place in like the 1970s, I think, which wasn't that historical, FYI. But all right, that's what I have for you to do. Thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for watching my first video. Hopefully I can learn as I go about this and make more, read more. I've read so many books already. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I've read 24 books already this summer. So those are coming, as well as listen to quite a few audiobooks on my walks and on my drives. So I'll share those with you. Thanks for sticking with me. Hope to see you back. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. Come back. Thanks. Bye.